Hello and welcome to my video about sig digs or significant digits. Significant figures is another way to say it. I'm going to say sig digs from now on. Count the number of sig digs in the following. So literally we need to count. We need to know the rules, but then we just need to count. So when we're counting sig digs, we're going to count using the multiplication division method. That is the main way, so that's what we're going to talk about first. But there's a little special thing with addition and subtraction, if that's all you're doing in an equation. Okay, so count the number of sig digs in the following. So let's take a second here to explain the rule. So the rule is any zeros before a number, these zeros don't count. Okay? Any zeros after the number, they count. Okay? And any numbers count. So the numbers 1 to 9, they're all good, they all count. And then any zeros after, they all will count as well. Okay, so those are the rules. So let's count the number of sig digs in the following. If you pause it now and you try all these, that would be a great idea, and then see if you match my numbers. All right, so the first one, 1, 2, 3, 4 sig digs. This has 4. This one, the zeros are before the numbers, so they don't count. So we've got 1, 2. So we've got 2 sig digs. This one here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sig digs. The 0 comes after, right here, and in between. That's good. This one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one's good. All the zeros come after the number, so that's good. And this one, all of these zeros don't matter, only this number matters. We have a sig dig of 1 sig dig, significant digit. All right, so pretty weird. What's the point of this? Well, the point is basically to get an idea of how precise a measurement is. And that becomes really important when you're weighing things or measuring the speed or the distance. And your tool is not perfect, right? If you have a ruler and your ruler shows centimeters, right? 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters, 4 centimeters, whatever, right? That's your ruler, right? Okay, it's easy to round to the nearest centimeter. Then inside that, it has the little millimeter mark. Okay, great, millimeters. I can do that. I can read those. But what about smaller than millimeters? You can't read those, right? So if we're writing our answer with the units of centimeters, because we know the millimeters, maybe we can go 0.1, right? That's 1 decimal place. So maybe it's 2.1 centimeters. So that would be 2 centimeters and one of those little millimeter ticks. But you can't precisely say what comes after that. And so because of that, we need to show it with sig digs. We need to know how many significant digits there are. And when we're multiplying, dividing, adding, or subtracting these things, it does make a difference. So let's take a look here. Add or subtract the following and give the final value with correct significant digits. Okay, so with adding or subtracting, there's a little key here. We only count sig digs after the decimal. Okay, so this is the adding and subtracting rule. This is not very common, honestly, but we do need to know it for the edge cases. Usually in science, we actually do more multiplying and dividing. All right, so in that case, well, how many digits are after the decimal place? Here there's 2, and here there's 1. Okay, so when we're getting our final answer, what you need to do is you actually have to have the same number of decimal places with your final answer. So only 1 decimal place, in this case the 10th place. So we're going to have decimal 1, 4, We're going to have 64.1. If you put 64.12, that's not right, because it's not showing the correct sig digs. Okay, so the next one here, this one has 2 sig digs. This one here has 4 places after the decimal. Again, you only count the smallest. Right, so this only has 2, this one has 4. So we're only going to go with 2 decimal places. So 2.14. Yeah, it'll round up to 4. Okay, so that's all you put. Okay, now more important than all that, multiplying and dividing. So multiply the following and give the final value. I'm going to actually take up my calculator because I am not good enough to do this in my head. So multiply or divide the following. So 23 times 2.12. So if you put this in your calculator, you're going to get a value of 48.76. This is the calculator value, but it is not the value that you will give with sig digs. So with sig digs, you have to remember this only has 2. This one has 3. Which one is lower? Well, 2 is lower. So let's go with 49 as our final answer. Okay, looking at a more realistic equation we'd see is, well, mass times gravity to give force of gravity. And so anyways, so we see 9.81 times by 0.56. So perhaps it's like a half-liter bottle of pop or something. And so how much force is it experiencing due to gravity? Well, our calculator will tell us 5.4936, but when we're counting sig digs, this one only has 2, this one has 3, so it should only have 2 sig digs, and it would round up again. If you don't know rounding rules, look them up. Okay, and last but not least, dividing. So if we're multiplying or dividing, they're both the same rule in terms of number of sig digs. Here we have 3, here we have 2, and I just want to show that a fraction is the same thing as division, but we should have, oh, here we have 1. Oh, that's going to be too small. Okay, well, here you go. We're going to have 30 as our answer, but here's the deal. That's not our answer because we need 1 sig dig. So actually, let's just make a quick adjustment to our question. Oops. And make it, instead of 4, we're going to make it 4.00 to prove a different point. Next video is going to be about scientific notation, which you need to know about in order to do this type of question, how it was before. But now we can do it. So this one has 3 sig digs, that one has 3 sig digs. So the point is here, yes, the answer is 30 in your calculator. However, we need 3 sig digs. So your answer would actually be 30.0. And you can do that. You can definitely have a 0.0. Okay, watch the next video so you can see and understand scientific notation. Good luck, everyone, and have a nice day.